some kind of phase I'm going through. Your eyes look tired. I draw those lines scribbled over my face. What's wrong with you? Where's that desire to shove and climb an incandescent path? You made it inky black, trying to make the best out of this. My mode is automatic. An incandescent path, melting into black, trying to make the best out of this.
Yo. What's going on, y'all? I hope y'all doing well, staying hydrated on this lovely Tuesday afternoon, morning, evening, night, whatever time it is for y'all. It is currently 8:35 p.m. for your boy. It's another Tuesday. Podcast, D&D, spilling the tea, Tuesday. Hope everybody's doing good. Yeah, got a pretty good topic to talk about. If y'all saw my Instagram post and Twitter and pretty much I posted everywhere, did go vote today. So it's gonna be a vital topic today. Hold on, let me get into the call. A second, I gotta set up the camera a little bit differently for. Yes, okay. Okay. And did this, and then did this. And just give me a second to set this up. Yeah, I'll finish setting it up. Okay. And then okay. All right. And deafen in here. I'm cutting off my. Hold on. Give me a sec. I guess that doesn't really matter, honestly. Got it there? Okay. Okay. Hello. Oh, I gotta turn you down. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just the the phone volume. What the heck? Why did that is so weird. Okay, hold on, because my whole setup just changed. Did that stupid shit. Okay, cool. There we go. All right.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm sorry that I'm not available on camera today. I'm not feeling too well, but I still wanted to participate in D&D spilling the tea. So I am coming from you live from my bed.
That she is, y'all, coming live straight from that good old comfy bed of ours.
Yeah.
Well, Welcome in everybody to D&D Spilling the Tea with your host, D and D. Hey, look, I'm on the left side this time. I guess when you don't have your camera on, I'm on the left side. It's like original, guys. It's like the side that I used to be on before I had to switch to Discord. Since Stream Together, cameras are
Yeah.
boo-boo butt cheeks. Huh?
This is. I don't know why, but you break up from me.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me also see what if my had that on, had this on. Does it sound any better at all right now?
Yes, a little bit.
Okay, I did move it closer, so maybe that was an issue. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so as Danny said, she isn't feeling too well. But she did want to still participate in the episode, so obviously I wouldn't do this by myself, you know. So if it would have came down to it, yeah, I would have just had an episode next week, but she's pushing through. She's here. And yeah, either way,
Yeah.
this is I'm gonna be taking a lead on this one because this is kind of like something that I wanted to talk about. And the topic of discussion today is voting. Talking about voting. And you know, I figured since, you know, it's around that time where states are having to, you know, vote for their next governors and representatives of that sorts for their state. So, you know, me and Danny, we did participate. If you guys, like I said, if you saw my Instagram story on socials everywhere, we voted. We did go and vote today. Today was official voting day, and I'm assuming that that's official voting day for like every state is today, right? Maybe, possibly. Do you know, babe?
Yeah, it is. Sorry, I'm kind of you're breaking up a little bit, so I'm like also looking at the stream so I can hear like fully what you're saying.
Yeah, Discord really be on. You know what? I'll just do this while we're in Discord. This should be better. I'll take off the what is that? The noise suppression thing. So maybe that'll be better since I'm not really typing stuff. So I'll be able to. You won't hear my keyboard going clickety clack. Okay, cool. And that's
Okay, we'll see if it helps.
Yeah. We will. Yeah, so yeah, today was the official day for all states to go and vote for the state representatives. They did have early voting, you know. I think early voting started for us like the 24th of October or something like that, but we didn't really get a chance to go and what the is this still doing it? You know, I really think this is. I'm looking at the little green thing around me, and it does seem to keep stopping. Is it cutting out? You still here, babe?
Yeah, I'm still here, but yes, it's still cutting out. So if you don't see your thing glowing green, then I can't hear you.
Man, what is? Hold on, let me see if I can. I wonder if I just do the automatic input sensitivity. Solid green when Discord then you. Okay, so we'll try. I'm trying the. All right, we'll see how that goes. Looks like it's staying the whole time that I'm talking. Huh?
I think it's helping.
Yeah, I had it to where I did my own. I put my own on it, but yeah, I just put it on the automatic. Maybe let me see if I can do this. Okay. Is it still good? We still clear? It's not cutting out. Yep, I do still see the green ring around.
I think it's good now.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'll keep that on automatic and hopefully, because I put my noise suppression thing back on, so there we go. Hopefully that'll help. Yeah. So sorry about that, y'all. A little bit. We're trying to get the audio right, so Danny can at least hear and interpret everything that I'm saying. But yeah, so like I said, it was the state election today. It was the official day of election of voting. They
Yeah,
had
and guess
early,
what?
huh?
And guess what?
What?
The they've called the race for most. They called the race for. Hold on. They called the race for the governor,
Okay.
and guess who they have projected to win?
Let me see. Let me think. Who could it be? Could it possibly be the goats, Abigail Spanberger?
Yes.
Let's go.
Woo!
Hell yeah. Yeah. Look, if y'all didn't see the Instagram post, because Danny did, what did you put as your caption? You
I
put,
said we've spoken. We've
we've
spoken.
spoken. Yeah, because if y'all have paid attention at all, especially if you live in the state of Virginia, because obviously you might not know if you don't live in the state of Virginia who Winsome Earl Sears is, but she's pretty much the other person that Abigail Spanberger was going against for the governor position. That is what we had been elected for. Or is that's what we wanted to go vote for. But there's a viral video of her like, I'm speaking. She just sounds so ignorant. And you know who else sounds ignorant, right?
Who?
I don't know. He's got a slight orange tone to him,
Trump. He actually sounds like the female black version
He
of Trump, and
literally does.
I'm
He
just like,
literally
oh my
does.
gosh,
Like,
I
oh
can't
yes,
do another one of them.
yeah, and that's kind of like So Danny said, we've spoken," kind of to mimic that, and then there's another part where she's like, "They're telling a black woman to get off the stage. They're telling a black woman to get off the stage."
Yeah, that's like so cringy.
So oh shit, what did I put? I forgot. Shit, hold on. I need to look it
Oh,
up.
like get this black woman off
Yeah,
the
get
stage.
this black woman off the stage. That's what I said. So I quote, and we posted our election stickers, our voting stickers that I have on my shirt here. We posted that. So I said, "Get this black woman off the stage."
Yeah, it's really funny.
So for like I said, I'm always rooting for my people, but like that one, we can't claim her.
Not,
We
as I
can't
say,
claim
not
her.
all skin folks are kin
Is Kim
folks.
folks, yeah, because she
And
unfortunately follows the same, she follows the same like rules and everything, same shit that Trump does. All the stuff that Trump likes doing, she likes that too. So, we don't like
yeah,
that.
she's
We
a
don't.
big Trump fan. We're just like, no,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, no.
And then also the next, they also have called the next lieutenant governor,
Okay.
and that is Hashmi, which is the
Yes, the other
Democratic.
one. Yes,
Yeah,
I remembered his name from the bill. What is it? The poster with Spamberger's team. Because I know Jay Jones is another one that's a part of the Democrats that we
Jones
voted for.
is the attorney general, and it's too close to call, so they haven't called that yet.
Okay.
But they've called Spanberger as the winner, and they've called, I don't know how to say her name, Ghazala Hashmi as the lieutenant governor.
Heck yes, we love to hear it. We love it. Let's go. Let's go. We love it. Yes, that's awesome. The heck?
Crazy. She's talking about how I had my pencil charging on my iPad, and Cookie took it and tried to bite it and chew it.
Oh, your pencil for your tablet?
Well, Lindo snatched it from her before she was messed it up too much.
Gotcha. You talking about your pencil for your tablet?
Yeah.
Gotcha. But yeah, so exciting times. But yeah, so we went to go and vote. We voted for all the Democrats. So it sounds like two of them are, who's
Mhm.
it, Spamberger and Hashmi was the
Ashmi.
last name? Okay.
I think it's spelled
Yeah.
Hashmi.
Yeah.
Hashmi. And then Jay Jones, right now is pulling ahead, but it's a pretty close race. They're only about 50,000 votes separated from each other, so they're saying
Okay.
it's still too close to call for him.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, we the main one that we wanted to get there seems like they're gonna get it, which is awesome. That's because that's who we were rooting for. Like I said, we don't need any more ideals of Trump infecting and brain rotting anybody else in this country.
And I think Jay Jones said something like very controversial, and I don't remember what it was. I just heard like
Ooh.
Winsome referred to it, and I heard somebody ask Abigail about it, and
Let
so
me see.
I think that's like one of the reasons why he kind of like effed up his chances, or like I wouldn't even say he effed it up
Yeah.
because he was like still like slightly winning, but I think that's why it's such a close call, because I think he said something like kind of crazy.
Now I'm like looking that up to see what I can find. Hold on. Let me see. Let's see. Attorney General 922 text. Okay, as a headline, beyond disqualifying Jay Jones controversy jolts Virginia's pivotal 2025 elections. The Democratic Attorney General nominee's 2022 text about 2 bullets to the head spark bipartisan condemnation, GOP attack ads, and a Trump intervention on behalf of Jason Miyares. Let's see. Attempted full-blown scandal. 3-year-old Texas showing Democratic nominee fantasizing about shooting then House Speaker Todd Gilbert and his children were made public. Wait, he threatened to shoot their children too? National News reveal exchange between Jones and Jones described a scenario in which Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head, followed by a wish that the Republican lawmaker's children's die in their... Okay, all right, dude. Yeah, that's very controversial. I mean, I get that that's old text, but bro,
Yeah.
why are you wishing out on people's kids? Come on now. I hope he came out and made a statement about it, because like that's kind of messed up. When you bring kids into something, like, you gotta remember, kids are like kids are innocent. They didn't come into this world by choice.
Yeah.
And it's up to how they're raised and the people that are around them to like really hopefully develop them right. But like you don't say that about people's kids, bro. Come on now.
Yeah. So.
I wonder if he made a statement. Jay Jones controversy statement, maybe. 'Cause that says that report was on October 5th that I read from. Oh, okay, hold on. It looks like maybe he... Okay. So he said, I'm ashamed. In debate, Virginia Jones apologizes for violence theme of text. So he did actually address it on the 16th of October. Well, let me see. During, what does it says? In debate. So I guess when he was doing his debate, he addressed it.
Yeah, because like Winsome kept bringing, like I remember they asked her a question and she kept bringing that up. Like she wouldn't even answer the question. She was just like, she was basically just like, are you guys really gonna vote for Jay Jones when he's so violent and foul and blah 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 blah. That's why I was like, I know he said something crazy, but I didn't know what he said. But yeah, so because then she was like, and Spanberger is supporting him, because at first Spanberger had supported him, and then I think the texts came out, and then she like withdrew her support or something like that.
said during the Thursday debate that his messages should not disqualify him from being elected as a state top law enforcement official. I'm ashamed, I guess this was a statement. I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed, and I'm sorry. Jones said Thursday, and what will be the only televised debate with incumbent Republican Attorney General Jason Miyares, who he characterized as a willing cheerleader of President Donald Trump. Well, yeah, I mean, you need a dude. You definitely need a like. I feel like you should say more than just that. Honestly, if just because like I said, bro, he didn't even address the fact that you said that about kids. Like, it didn't seem like, at least from what I just read there, it didn't seem like he said anything regarding the kids. So that's kind of messed up. I hope if he gets his position, he actually like makes a better statement about that, because your name is gonna get dragged. Like, then I hope you don't try to do something to let that power go to your head, where you just feel like you don't need to address something like that, because that's pretty serious. That's a very messed up thing to say.
I mean, but to be fair, like, President Trump has also said like terrible things about people or situations, or like grab her by the, or she like doing the R
Yeah,
with her, and you know what I mean. Like, and like, there's not saying
yeah,
that, not saying in that same breath that like he should not be accountable
right,
for what he
right.
said. But I'm also saying that like there have been Republicans who have said equally as terrible things, but somehow it's acceptable for them to just be like, well, they didn't mean it, or like that was just them being facetious, or that was just them being extreme. But like Jay Jones says it, and now it's like he's a terrible person. He's gonna
Yeah,
violent. And it's like that's just like like you guys are just, it's so hypocritical. Um,
honestly.
and like if you feel that way about Jay Jones, like he should own up to what he said about like that man and his children, then you should feel the same way about your president or anybody else in the Republican Party that says something fucking crazy that they shouldn't be saying.
Big facts. Big facts.
So to me,
Imagine.
I just feel like condemning him, if you have no problem not condemning like the president for certain things he said, it's just
Mhm,
like I take what you say with a grain of salt, because you're cherry picking what you want.
mhm. Yeah, that's true. And and that would honestly have been a good point for him to bring up. If you're bringing up, a situation like this with me, what are you thinking about all of this stuff that Trump is doing, tearing away families, um, letting ICE run amok, or letting quote unquote ICE, because we don't even know if these are ICE agents.
Yeah, but what I think,
These masked men that just can't. I saw a video. Go ahead, babe. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I would say though, but I actually think that him, even though like he didn't really like super address it, he just apologized. I think that is better than deflecting, because
Oh
that
yeah.
is typically what Republicans do. They will deflect, like when they asked, I forgot what question they asked Winston, but they asked her like a specific question about her policy or something, whatever, and she's like, and you're worried about that when you should be worried about Jay Jones
Hmm.
running and he's violent. And I'm like, that's not the question that they asked
Right. And
you
you're still
though.
not addressing the
You know what I mean?
question. Like, how about you address the
That's
question
like,
that was directly asked to you?
no, that's exactly what, like, she did that. I just saw a I just saw a video on TikTok where President Trump did the same thing. He like, they asked him a very direct question, and he just kind of like went around the question, and it's like, just answer the question, bro. Like, answer it. But like they will never answer it, because if it doesn't make them look good, then they don't want to answer the question. And it's just
Big
like,
facts.
dude.
Big
No,
facts.
I mean, maybe you'll convince like the stupid people, but I am not that stupid. So like, it is not convincing me.
Yeah. Um, yeah, what I was gonna say about the ice thing, like there was a recent video I saw, and remind me to come back to addressing things, the questions, just in case I forget.
Mhm.
But there was a video of like apparently ICE agents, they hit someone's car.
I saw that.
Oh, you saw it too. Okay, yeah, it was
And
like,
they
and I
got
guess they were
dragged
making
the
it,
car.
yeah, they like apparently they were making an illegal U-turn and they just hit somebody, and yeah, they came to their car holding their guns up and shit and dragged her out the car and arrested her. Like, what is going on? How is this? What did she do that y'all didn't do? Y'all were the ones that hit her. Why is she being dragged out the car?
She actually has a GoFundMe. She's trying to sue them. She's
Yeah.
actually a paralegal.
Ooh, they chose the right one. I hope she gets I hope she gets every bit of money that she can out of them, because they deserve to. Yeah, they deserve to get all of that taken from them. That was wild. That video was wild.
Well, I feel like they know they're wrong. I feel like they know.
Oh yeah.
I feel like they're wrong because why are you all covering your faces?
Yeah, and you see that the guy with his mask that came down, he had to keep pulling it up. Like, he was really trying to not let his face be shown.
You know what I'm saying? So like, just like say you're a piece of shit and that you just don't even, either A, you're a piece of like, you're a racist piece of shit, or like B, you actually just don't care about other people and you know that this is a job that you can get that'll pay you because nobody else is willing to do the job. Like those are like kind of the only two things that I could say I won't, because I think like not caring is just as bad as being racist, but I also think that that's like two separate things. Like there's people who are just like genuinely racist and they're like, I don't want like immigrants here, and then there's other people who are like, it's a paycheck, I get paid good money and I don't give a fuck about nobody else, I'm just gonna do what I need to do to get this money. And it's like, I mean, kind of ethically shitty, but I guess whatever, brother.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like, you know, like they're covering their faces because they want to hide that they either A, don't care about their fellow man, or B, they're like a racist piece of shit. I mean, either way, they're kind of a piece of shit still, but one's a selfish piece of shit and one's a racist piece of shit, and that's like, there's pieces of shit for different reasons.
Yeah. I read a Reddit thread that I guess Winsome Earl hasn't really been doing too much campaigning or like promoting for her campaign.
Yeah.
And people were like, you know, why is she not, you know, doing more to, you know, to get herself out there? And people were like, because then she would be asked a real political question that she would deflect from, or something like that. Or she would say something that makes her look dumb and just make her chances even less and less. So instead of just instead of going to like campaign and like promote her you know, her candidacy or whatever, she just doesn't do any promotions hardly.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I immediately so I've lived in Virginia my whole life. I've voted in pretty much every single like election there's been since I've been able to vote. I take doing my civic duty really seriously. And so usually when I go to vote, there are both like a Republican, like there's both usually like a Republican representative and a Democratic representative, and they will come up and be like, oh, do you want a ballot to show you how to vote? And they'll, if you're a Republican, they'll supply you with a Republican one. If you're a Democrat, they'll supply you with a Democrat one. I think this is the first time ever I can remember where I did not see a Republican representative outside of the voting place. I was like, there's no like what? There's no Republican?
Yeah,
Like,
when we went to the school, there was only a Democrat one up there.
Yeah, in my head I was like, this is like kind of odd, but okay. And then I was like, maybe, and then in my head I'm like, maybe, and I'm like, no, it's just like very odd. So I'm like, maybe they're just like, Winsome's not it, so we're just like not coming out. And I like literally have seen like multiple things that like, yeah, I'm a Republican, but Winsome is not it. And so I'm like, girl, you're losing your own party
Yeah,
because you're acting like a
literally.
crackhead. I don't like. There's
Uh,
nothing else. It's like she just acts like she is literally like unhinged. She doesn't have two freaking cells to rub together up there. I don't know. Like,
crazy. Actually crazy. Yeah, it's just like everybody knows. They just know that she really ain't it. You gotta get that black woman off the stage.
what is going? Like, girl, what are you doing?
Oh man. Well, at least there's one thing that people can come together and realize that she ain't it.
Because I mean,
uh,
like, I feel like I'm watching a psychotic breakdown. Like, what are you on the stage? And I think what even like made me be like, what the heck is that? Like, people were clapping and like a girl, like, what, girl, what? Who are these people that you have in your audience that are clapping with you while you're having like this psychotic break? Like, I don't understand. Why are we not like ushering you off the stage and putting you into a padded cell? I'm confused.
that part.
And the thing, she was already the lieutenant governor. Girl, you have to go.
Please, we don't need you in any offices no more.
For real.
Um, a couple of facts. I did a couple of fact checks from Miss Earl Sears. So,
Okay.
excuse me. She's excuse me, sorry. She's flooded the airwaves with ads focused on the cultural divide that helped President Donald Trump win the presidency last fall.
Mm.
Um, Her team even replicated some of the same messaging used against former Vice President Kamala Harris, saying Spanberger is for they them, not for us.
That's so
Mm,
stupid. Okay.
yeah, very stupid. Just sounds like more idiotic brain rot to me. So yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, and just a couple other things. Democrats want the election to be about the chaos of Trump's administration, including the government shutdown. Because for those that haven't been paying attention, there has been a government shutdown since last month, right? I think it's been since last month.
Yeah,
That's
it's
when it
been like
started.
I think it's about to come up. If they get to December, it'll be 2 months. You want to know what's crazy, y'all? But like they have like on official and I showed Dom this earlier on official state websites. They're like the radical left has made it so that um we have to close the government because they refuse to do what's right. And but like some literally like I know I'm paraphrasing right now, so I'm not saying it exactly the right way, but no, the first line for real is the radical left have decided to basically shut down the government. Like that is literally the first line. And then after that, it like blames them. It basically feels like they're unwilling to like compromise or something shit like that.
Yeah,
And so basically, like once things get back up and running, like we'll resume like our normal like whatever. And I'm like, that's a crazy. I think the crazy thing about this administration, um, but just besides just like their lack of like governance, um, is that they are so childish. They are literally children because that's something like a child would do would be to like resort to like throwing. And I mean, I guess I've seen people adults do this in real life, but even when I see adults, like I'm like, you're a fucking child, like to throw somebody under the bus because you feel like, well, they should have did this or they should have did, or they blah 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 blah. It's like, bro, like that's not what you could just say. You know, there is a lot of discussion and deliberation still going on in the government that has led for us to have a shutdown. we are working on opening up the government back up. Like once that happens, then X, Y, and Z programming will return as normal. Like that is like an adequate statement, but like this whole like the radical left have bull shut the fuck up.
Literally, just shut the fuck up. Yeah, crazy times we live in, y'all, where stuff like just the blatant lies and the propaganda that gets pushed out on social media is it's just wild. And then this AI shit, you know what? That may have to be next week's topic, babe.
Mhm.
How this AI stuff is getting out of hand. That may be a good
No,
topic for next week
seriously,
because that
there
AI shit is getting
actually
crazy.
there's
That
like
AI,
issues, AI issues with like schools. Like my job actually released an official statement saying that like our contractors are not allowed to use AI in their reviews. Like it's strictly prohibited. Um, like there's lots of things going on with AI. So yeah, I think that'll be interesting to talk about.
yeah, yeah, that'll be a good. I think that'll be a good topic for next week to talk about because yeah, AI is getting crazy, y'all. I haven't been paying attention to that AI shit. It's getting wild, very
I
wild.
robot ass.
Literally, literally. Um, on a positive note too, with the announcement of the projected Virginia governor. Virginia's campaign will be historic as it could result in the first woman being elected the Commonwealth's 75th governor. So,
Well, actually, it's kind of determined because both are like both of the people,
right, they're
like
both female.
they're both female. So
Yeah,
either way, we're like making history.
making history. It's a historical moment in Virginia. First female governor of Virginia. That's welcome in Abigail's Fatburger, y'all. We already know she got it. We already know she got it. We're just waiting for the official word. That's it. But yeah, so that's exciting as well. That's pretty cool. You know, making history like that. That's awesome. Uh, Especially from a female, because this females don't get enough victories. So this is a good one. And I'm very proud to be a part of the times where I can witness a historical moment like this. Um, okay, moving on. So yeah, that was our little slice of Virginia voting facts and everything. So that's you guys have heard. What our part of voting and everything entails with everything that's going on now. So you guys kind of know a little bit about a little bit about what Virginia's going through and what they got planned as far as the elections for that and just everything that's kind of been going on with both sides. So but I just wanted to give a generalized definition for voting, what a vote is. So it is a formal indication of a choice between two or more candidates or courses of actions expressed typically through a ballot or a show of hands or by voice. So in this case, we went to go fill out our ballots and we turned them in. So that's what we did for this positions for the government and stuff, or the governor. Normally you do that when you do the presidency. Yeah, for us, it's never really a show of hands or by voice. It's mostly ballots for us. Let's see. So, how important do you feel that it is to vote? How
Voting,
important do you feel?
voting is essential. And I know you might think like, oh, I'm one person, my vote doesn't matter. But if everybody felt that way, then nobody would vote, and then nothing would get done, right? So
Mm-hmm.
even if it feels like it is pointless and useless for you to vote, it is essential for you to vote and express and your civic duty. Um, and not only that, but your vote affects you. So if you don't vote and you get a candidate that you don't agree with or you don't like, you are partially to blame because you don't know your vote could have turned the tide.
Mm-hmm.
One vote
Yep.
makes the difference. So
Yeah. And I guess that kind of coincides to my next question. What happens if you don't vote? Hence, if you don't vote, then when you get the results of something and then stuff starts affecting you for the said votes that you didn't vote on, well, you're partially to blame for that because you didn't make the effort. You didn't take the time to go out and vote or do a mail-in ballot, like some people do. But of
yeah,
course,
I think
mail-in ballots are very, they're very, what's the word I'm looking for?
after the last election, I wouldn't do a mail-in ballot
Yeah.
personally. In my
What's
personal opinion,
risky? That's the word I was looking for.
yeah.
Yeah. Mail-in ballots are very risky
Um,
because,
but
they lost
yeah,
a
but
lot of
I was
votes
gonna
in that.
yeah, but I was gonna say that um even if you feel like your vote or not voting won't affect you that much personally, like let's say you're a billionaire and you know you make a lot of money and you're not worried about the stock market crashing or the banks um also crashing as they are lending out more money than they're able to or receiving and they have to get bailed out by the government. Okay, let's say you're not worried about none of that happening or like the Great Depression part two happening, right? You're not worried about any of that. Um, you probably still know people or have people that are dear to you that will be affected by these decisions.
Mhm.
And so, even if you decide that it's not essential for you to vote for yourself, because either way, your way of life will not be affected enough to care about those people that you love and not to vote. I feel
Yep.
like it's a good thing to think about.
Mm-hmm. That's like a good example is when Trump became, when he became president, he got rid of DEI programs. And what was it? I believe white females got affected by
Yep.
that too, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So it's
Actually,
like,
white females were the highest recipients of like DEI. So it's like really funny because I think they think that DEI is essentially for people
of
of
color.
color, but
Mm-hmm.
it's like no DEI or the I-9 titles or whatever. Those
Mm-hmm.
disproportionately helped white women. So it's like haha, kiki, you thought, but it is
Karma.
really yeah.
Karma. Big time karma. Yeah. Um, So yeah, it's pretty important for you to vote. Because think about it like this: there was a lot of people that didn't go and vote for Trump versus Kamala. A lot of people didn't go and vote for that, and I feel like, and I have a very strong feeling about this, that if we would have had Kamala Harris as president, not only would that have been a very historical moment in the history of America, since that would have been literally the first female president,
Mm-hmm.
but we probably wouldn't be going through all of this illegal shit going on.
Yeah.
Government shutdown probably wouldn't have happened. ICE raiding all of these states and raiding apartment buildings and zip tying families and snatching children or children's parents away from them in front of them, like all of this shit going on probably wouldn't be going on. We probably would have still had SNAP, EBT, food benefits, and all of that. The economy probably wouldn't be as reckless as it is now. Probably wouldn't have these high ass tariffs that all of these countries are fighting because this president just is so greedy and wants all of this extra money.
Oh
But
no,
everybody thinks he's such a genius, and he just wants to make everybody money. But it's like, no, he's
well,
making money for himself.
well, the tariff thing really, he doesn't even. So the tariff, he's like making money. His real objective is that he's trying to have people use American products because
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing is like, oh, we don't have internal wealth because we outsource all these things, right?
Yep.
The thing about it is like, as much as it might be like a human, like an ethical issue, labor and other countries like India and China is cheaper. And so they outsource that labor to those countries because they can pay them pretty much pennies on the dollar in
Mm-hmm.
US, right? To make these things. So it inherently makes the products cheaper, which makes people more inclined to buy the products. Now when you manufacture in the United States, we have un- we have fortunately laws and labor laws that stop you from getting paid so little, right? But
Mm-hmm.
because of that, that is going to increase the price of products. Not only that, we don't have a whole bunch of like raw materials. So when you hike up these tariffs, then even if products are being made in the United States, um, the price is gonna be exponentially higher because, like, let's for instance, let's say you want to start making computers here, or you want to start making phones here. Okay, not only do you now have to pay people here to manufacture them, which they have to at least get paid. I think if I remember correctly, the national minimum wage is like 7, $8, something like that. You at least pay them like $8, okay? And depending
Mm-hmm.
on the state that it's in, like here, I think our minimum wage is like 12.50, $13. So to at least pay them the minimum wage of the state that this manufacturing company is in. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to pay the tariffs for the raw materials that are coming in. Because if you're making something like a phone, we don't have cobalt here in America. We actually import that from Africa, which is one of the big issues of like Congo right now, is they're being um, basically used for their natural minerals and resources, and have been basically just just obliterated by other countries taking advantage, and basically inciting war in these countries in order to gain access to their resources.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically even if like the idea of bringing manufacturing back to America, in in theory it's not going to work because ta- adding these tariffs means that the price goes on to the end consumer, and then on top of that, adding all these labor laws and humanitarian laws that we have here, which are necessary. I agree, but also it makes it so that it is not as cheap to produce in America as it is in other countries, unless they decide to forego those those ethical um laws that were put in place in practice to keep the American people safe. I just don't see how we'll be able to um, buy things manufactured in America for cheap.
Yep. 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 True. 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 And yet, you know, yet here we are, where it's and the president's trying to put tariffs on anime movies and all of this, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Anyways, moving on. Um, do you think there have been unfair advantages that other people could have that would affect voting?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, just I don't know. Just in general, do you think there's any unfair advantages that people could have that you know that would affect voting?
Well, I honestly think that people who are able to be informed, so those who have critical thinking skills that you usually develop while you're in higher education in school, those who have access to be able to look up information and know how to search things, to get out the information that you're looking for. I think those are all skills that you learn when you have education. So I think obviously those who are less educated are at a disadvantage, and always are at a disadvantage. And I think that's why they are targeted by those who wish to use their ignorance and weaponize it in order to um, have their own, um, or have, yeah, to play their own agenda out. Um, I
Hmm.
think that is kind of the having, I guess, a jump on other people, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
So yeah, yeah. So yeah, you're pretty much saying like they're taking advantage of their them basically not having the knowledge or the resources or just the competent value of knowing knowing actual facts, like kind of like
Yeah,
taking on propaganda and implementing it as okay, this is what's going on, and not actually looking into the actual facts of it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That would definitely be an unfair advantage for sure, because there is a lot of people out there that really do not fact check. They just literally believe anything that someone who they just want to win. Some of them just solely just want them to win just because this guy looks like me, so I want to vote for them, and just take whatever they say and just run with it. And then they wait till after their official ruling and that they're in the office, that they've gotten this position, and they realize, wow, this person's a piece of shit. and now and now you're sitting there looking dumb as hell, because it's like, yeah, if you would have just actually like paid attention, maybe like looked into some of these things, or maybe listened to what a lot of these people were saying, you probably wouldn't have been in the mindset that you're in and at that time, and now now you're regretting it. So yeah, I think that's a really good way to look at it, though, is yeah, taking people's taking advantage of people's fact that they just take anything you say and just run with it. And yeah, it's very sad, and it happens a lot, unfortunately. And once again, that's something that a lot of people did with Trump, unfortunately, because after he got into presidency, after he got this term that he just got into, where he's now the president once again, you know they realized that he isn't doing the things that he said he was going to do. And that people are losing benefits, people are losing money, people are losing things that they were so used to getting, now that they can't even get anymore because of this man.
yeah.
So yeah, it's yeah. Good point, babe. Good job. Great points.
Thank you.
um yeah. Should everyone be allowed to vote?
Oh no,
Why not?
you gotta start taking it away from people, because like I said, I think you know, I made a case for saying like, basically, he used like certain parties will use those people's ignorances against them, and
Mhm.
I think um, you have to be competent enough to vote, because when you vote, you are not only affecting yourself, but you're affecting the city, the state, the country that you're in. So if you can't complete a basic, I don't even know, like fourth grader level of understanding, sixth grade, I think actually is better. Like, just go home, Roger. You know, wrap it up. I don't know.
Pack it
No,
up. Pack it up.
please, please.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, so a lot of people really don't. There's a lot of people that should not be allowed to vote. I agree. Some people, and it comes to a point where it's like, I think it's just one of those situations where, you know, how we have police officers who don't really have to go through a lot of training to become a police officer, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that with voters, because it's like you're giving them free reign. Like, you don't have to do much to get registered to vote. um so, like, there's a lot of people out there that can vote, but the sad part is a lot of them don't vote for what they actually want, because once again, people take advantage of what they don't know, and they just feed them information, and they're just like, oh, okay, so this is what I'll go for, without, once again, like, fact checking, or just knowing the facts in general, just actually doing some research, paying attention. Like, this is the thing about, we live in the year 2025. We are not living in, like, what, I don't know, like 1950, 1960s, where didn't really have internet, like, just information wasn't so widely broadened out to everyone. Like, it wasn't just freely resourced like it is now. Like, there is just so much that you can just find from literally just going on social media. I literally find out so many things from just looking on Instagram, um, looking on Facebook, looking on Twitter. Like, as much like BS as there is on a lot of social media, there is a lot of shit that actually makes sense and actually is worth looking into. And I found out so many things that I didn't know, and I still find out things that I didn't know about history through social media. Just like following accounts that talk about, like, the Black history, or like just history of people of color in general, just like what they've done, what they've become, or what they've accomplished. This so many things. It's like information is just too free out there to, like, not know basic understandings of things. So yeah, I think, I don't know. I feel like there just needs to be, like, some kind of yearly generalized test of people that they need to take before they can even vote. Implement something that 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 pretty much gives, what's the word I'm looking for? Something that will secure this person and make sure that they are actually competent enough to vote, and not just blindly vote because of hearsay, you know what I mean? So yeah, so that yeah, I agree though. Everyone should not be allowed to vote. There's a lot of people out there that are voting for the wrong reasons, and they don't even know it till it's too late. Hence where we're at now. Yeah, it's funny because my next question says, have there been any incompetent candidates that have gotten a chance to be voted into a higher power? uh, what you think, man? What you think? Uh-oh. Wait, did we lose you? Hello? Uh-oh. Hello? If you're talking, I cannot hear you. Oh, your thing's breaking up. I cannot hear you. I'm hearing like fuzzy little sounds every now and then. Yeah, I still can't hear you, babe. I don't know what's going on with your voice thing, but I am not hearing you. You sound like a fuzzy robot every now and then. Still can't understand you. Hello, hello. Echo, echo. Uh-oh. Arnar. Arnar. Bro, Discord doesn't want us to be great. What's going on? You may have to leave and come back or something, baby. Because, yeah, I can't hear you. Let me go find out what's going on with her stuff. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay. That's crazy. Y'all would never guess what happened. Or maybe y'all will. Guys, she fell asleep. Yo. That's crazy. She fell asleep, y'all. Oh man, okay. You know what? That's okay. She did enough. So I'll just answer the last. I had I think two more questions left, so. Oh man, that's funny. That's hilarious. Okay. So have there been any incompetent candidates that have gotten a chance to be voted into higher power? Yeah, there have been. Let's talk about it, guys. Oh wait, we already have been. Trump, you know, the biggest one. I mean, come on now. That dude, just the way he talks. This man literally, he talks with his hands. He talks like this. He likes repeating himself and hearing his own voice and repeating monologues and making himself sound very important and like he knows what he's talking about. But in general, in reality, he does not know what he is saying. He's speaking, you know, when he speaks, you listen. And when you listen, you learn these things, you know, and you just know that this has got to be the right things, right? Because when you talk like this, you know it all, you know? Dude, Trump is like the most idiotic president we've had, man. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to a lot of presidencies like that besides, you know, obviously I started paying attention to a lot of shit more during quarantine. So before then, yeah, I couldn't really tell you. I didn't really pay attention to presidencies like that. But Trump is by far one of the most incompetent presidents we've ever had. Like the shit that he is allowed to happen in this country is ridiculous, to say the least. Yeah. Moving on. So the last question I had is, and this kind of goes back to like how important do you feel it is to vote? But do people's voice matter in regards to a vote or something similar being overturned? Does voice matter in regards to a vote or something similar? Yeah. So yeah, that kind of goes with the same point of voting. I think people's voices definitely matter. Think about all the protests and everything that are going on, not only in this country, but in all other countries. Think about stuff happening with Palestine, Gaza, Congo, Sudan. There's plenty of other places I just can't think of off the top of my head, but like, there's so many places, and people talk about it all the time on social media. Once again, and I feel like the more you talk about it, the more people who are unaware of, hopefully you'll get to them. Because once again, you don't want people to keep thinking about the propaganda of things and thinking that this is right whenever they haven't had any facts behind it, you know? And this kind of goes with a post that I saw, the streamer say, he was like, what's up with all of these 30 plus content creators getting political now? Like, just like 2 or 3 years ago, y'all weren't saying nothing. Like, what happened? And I don't know. I don't follow a lot of like big streamers or content creators like that and have time to watch streamers like that. So I can't really say how many 30 plus, streamer content creators have talked about this, but I pretty much responded like, I don't know all of these people you're talking about, but with everything that's going on with the world, are we really surprised? Look at the majority of who's being affected by all of these politics going on, So it just goes to show that more and more people talking about it are going to get more and more people talking about it, more people that aren't aware, that don't know, or just been ignorant, or just try to stay out of it. You can try to stay out of it as much as you want, but eventually it's probably going to affect you, okay? It's affecting the majority of everyone, like everyone's being affected whether they want to believe it or not. So your voice matters. Keep protesting, keep fighting the good fight, keep making your voices heard. Keep standing up to the bullies. That's all these politics are, really. They're just bullies, trying to get away with things that are right but are very much so blatantly wrong. But a lot of people just get away with a lot of stuff, and it's horrible. It's really bad. Hopefully one day we'll actually come to a point where everyone is treated equally. There won't be any stereotypical laws against any majority or any, there won't be a stigma put on people, just hopefully one day. And hopefully we're getting there, especially with more and more people talking about it, it being more on social media, and just so much information that's just out there on social media. So just remember, do your research, be informed. Knowledge is power. Like, you don't have to know it all, but just have some sense of like what's actually going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? Just stopping by to say hi and go vote. Yes, tell them, Luna. Yes, thank you for stopping by, Luna. Yeah, I'm kind of going on a little bit of a rant, but like I said, it goes to the point of the question that I asked. Keep on protesting, keep on fighting the good fight, keep on just soaking up as much knowledge you can get. Knowledge is power, seriously. Like, you can't stay uninformed forever. And whether you want it to not affect you and to just stay out of it, just know eventually it affects us all. That's all I'm gonna say. Not trying to push any politics or anything on anybody, but just be aware of your surroundings, of stuff going on around you. Like, there's just so much shit that is going on in the world, and it's just so much bad. So just try to do better. Try to stay informed. Actually, you know, actually try to find out actual factual things and not just believe everything you hear. Okay? And believe me, there's a lot of information out there that you can get for the free, mind you. That's just it's worth looking into, okay? But that's all I got. Go vote. Yes, go vote. If you didn't vote today, I hope you voted early. Okay? Yes, you and 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 you. All he is, okay? Make sure you vote. Do some research on the people that are representing your states. Do some research on people that are representing your country. Okay? That's all I ask. It doesn't take a lot. You can literally do a simple Google search and it'll tell you so much. I promise you. There is so much information out there. It is so easily accessible for you to find out. Alright? So, do the right thing. Go vote. Be informed. Knowledge is power. The more you know. Okay? That's my rant. That's how I'm going to end it. Thank you all for coming, listening, lurking, chatting, whatever it is you did here. I appreciate you. This video will be posted on the YouTube. I might post this one a little bit earlier. I normally post it a week later to the next episode, but this episode is kind of more like, I feel like this is a very important episode, so I might just post this one this weekend, Friday, Saturday or something. So just pay attention to that. And if you see it on the YouTube, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ask questions. Let me know your thoughts about anything that we talked about or discussed here. Like, if you have some, opposite, or if you have some questions, or if you have something that maybe you knew or that I said that contradicted something, let me know. Let's talk about it. I like a good debate as well. I like debating people. I like keep staying informed, and I like educating others when I can. So please come to me with your comments and any questions or anything that you have. Yeah. All right, that's all I gotta say, y'all. This has been D&D Spilling the Tea with your host D and D, who sleep. Like I said, she wasn't feeling too good though, so I appreciate her being here and fighting through with as much as she could. I'm glad she's getting some rest. Her head was hurting and she wasn't feeling too well, so at least she's getting some rest. Like, at least I know she's good now. But yeah, stay tuned for next week. Next week's topic will be a good one too. I already know what we're going to be talking about, so I'm just going to make hold on, let me make a next week. Okay, cool, boom. So I got that for next week. We got next week's topic, so that'll be cool. Yeah, so next Tuesday, between 8 to 8:30 p.m. EST is when we start the podcast. I say 8 p.m. just so people can come in if they want to come in, give them time to, get ready for the podcast. So we started at 8:30 tonight. So like I said, we start between 8:30. So stay tuned. Yeah, excited for next week's episode. But thank you all for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for chatting. Whatever you did, I appreciate you. Like I said, if you see this on the YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe it. Stay hydrated, practice self-care, and as always, peace, love, and positivity, y'all. We'll catch y'all next week on the next episode. Go vote. Vote. Hey, y'all.